Are you ready to get started?
Dave, we are so ready. And I know that I speak for all of us because like Kristen said, we are here to learn. So go ahead, my friend, do what you need to do. And you need me to make you.
I will need to share screen. So if you can allow me to do that.
I'll make you co-host and then I can admit people in there. I mean, unless there's anyone who's a virtual host who would like to. Patty, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to be like you. And get that badge.
Let me see. Well, let me share right now. I think it will.
If not, I'll just make you host because I'm cool with that too.
Let me.
Okay, here I'll fill some time here.
Hi, Kristen.
The eSpeaker, does that, so that logo, what does that do for you? What?
There we go. Okay, I'm sharing. Let me answer that in a couple of minutes. Can we
no, that's fine.
Put a pin in that one for now?
Absolutely.
Okay. If I don't get to it, remind me, but I'll get around to that. And speaking of that, Lisa, if you wouldn't mind, I'm not nearly smart enough to talk and watch the chat for questions at the same time.
I gotcha.
Okay, so just pipe in if there's something that I need to address there. All right. There's no slide deck today. I didn't make a PowerPoint for y'all. This is all going to be demonstration and sort of hands-on. And Lisa has volunteered her profile, and she's a brave soul to do that because we're going to go through it and be critical and talk about ways that it could be better. And Lisa volunteered that, so nobody think that I'm being mean to her. But before I start that, I wanted to share just for a minute about our company, eSpeakers. And my name's Dave. As Lisa mentioned when she introduced me, I'm one of the co-founders of eSpeakers, which is this year a 22-year-old company. We have been doing this for a long time and all in the speaking industry. Our company was founded by a professional speaker named Art Berg, and speaking, training, coaching, consulting, that's what we focus on. We're really dedicated to this industry. And I'll share with you our mission statement, just so you'll know where we're coming from and what we're trying to help you do. At eSpeakers, we know that when the right speaker is in front of the right audience, that there's a kind of magic that can happen. And individuals and organizations can improve in long-term ways, and lives get better and organizations get better. And so our mission at eSpeakers is to help that happen more often. We want to help you do that more often. And that's how we do our good in the world, is to help you do your good in the world. And that's what we're about. That's why we're here. I'm going to show you a couple of, we do that primarily through two things. And I'm going to mention the first one. I'm showing you the first one right now, and then we're going to not talk about it again because we're going to focus on the second one. But one of the ways that we help speakers do their thing more and better and at higher fees and more often is the way they run their back office. We found that when speakers aren't reaching their potential, a lot of times it's because they're great speakers with great content, great presence on the stage. Their business isn't great. The way they run their business and their processes aren't great. And so we've got 20 years of the wisdom of the best speakers, busiest speakers in the business wrapped up in a box. And so that whole business process, we have got softwareized for you. And it takes that glass ceiling off and lets you be all that you can be, because your business is running well, and we free up hours for you to do other things like writing and contacting customers. So that is one of the things that we do, and that's our Event CX software. I'm showing you a screen of that right now, and then I'm going to put this away because we're going to focus on the second thing that eSpeakers does, and that is help you get online exposure through directories. Let me close this window. All right. All right, everybody good so far? Thumbs up? Okay, good. So eSpeakers is probably, we're not aware of a larger, more inclusive group of speakers in the world. And we publish those speakers out so that we call them buyers, but these are people who would hire you for consulting or speaking or training or coaching. These buyers come to our directories and they research and they can connect with you, or a lot of times it's just part of their research process, and they want to see credibility. They know your website already. It's not hard to Google you, but they're checking you out. They want to see that you're on the National Speakers Association website, or they want to see that you're on the Wisconsin chapter, or that you're on the Meeting Professionals International, or you're on the eSpeakers Marketplace, which is our own brand of directory. And all these different directories, we publish nearly 100 different directories. They're all powered by the same profile. So your profile in eSpeakers can get you published out in lots of different directories where event organizers are doing research and finding speakers.
Hey, Dave,
Does anybody, oh, go ahead.
real quick question. So, yeah, that is me, and it's going to be super fun to go through this. I'd like to welcome Beth to the show. Hi, Beth. And as we go through this too, I think, Dave, you'll probably talk about pricing and how to access things, because we write different levels of membership.
Yep, I can talk about that.
Okay.
Talk about that.
Fantastic.
Yep. I am not here to sell anything, but I will talk about pricing and the different levels of eSpeakers, just so you'll be educated about that. And I actually got authorization for a special offer that for anybody who's not already at the higher levels. If you decide that's something you want, I've got a special Wisconsin offer for you. I'll share when we're done.
I hope it's cheap. So Beth, we are right at the beginning. We are going through. This is Dave from eSpeakers going to tell us all about it. Beth, glad you're here. Dave, I'm done talking. Go.
All right, good. Hey, and you know what? With a small group like this, if anybody has, if you want to stop me and ask a question, that's great. Put it in the chat, and Lisa will catch it and stop me. Or if you just want to pipe in, you can't really do that with a big group, but I think this group's small enough that we can get away with stopping for questions if we need to. I'll have some Q&A at the end too as well. We had planned to go till about quarter till the top of the hour, so about another half hour or so, and then have any time left over for wrap up. So, all right, here is an example, and I'm just going to go back here. So we are on the directory that is the National Speakers Association, and we're going to click on the Find a Speaker here, and the Find a Speaker is powered by our technology. So we just went from the NSA's website over to eSpeakers technology, even though the branding stayed the same. We still have the NSA logo up here. And if I want to find, Lisa, what's one of the topics on which you speak?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI.
DEI, okay. Let's see, diversity, let's see what, okay, speaks on diversity. So what we find when people who are researching speakers come to one of the directories, the topic search is the most common way for them to come in. And so they'll start typing diversity, and we can see we autocomplete here and say speaks on diversity. So they're going to click that. And then we could further filter by, we only want to see people who are certified or who have videos, or we can say, I want to see people who speak virtually. I'm going to show you a couple other cool search things later on, but let's leave it there for now and just say search speakers. We'll see who comes up.
There's a lot of us.
All right, there's a lot of you. Now,
hey, Dave, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
So when you say that people search, and that's the best way to find topic or what we speak about, where does that fall into our profile? So where should we putting the topics that we want to be searched on in our profile?
that is a good question. You know what? Let me run through just another couple minutes of this, and then we'll jump right into that. Is that cool? Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so diversity. So we have 102 matching speakers here, and they can scroll through. Now, we're gonna come back to this. I want you to notice their photo, and I want you to notice this text right there, which we call the audience benefit statement. And you're going to see, we're going to talk more about that later. But so scrolling through, Now these results on the NSA website are ordered by, does anybody notice how these are ordered?
Alphabetically,
Alphabetically.
by last name.
Okay. So
But I'm not a
This-
Z.
yes, you're not a Z on here. And that's unusual. The NSA, that was part of the NSA's requirement when they had us do this for them. Most of our directories are not alphabetical, but there's Lisa. She comes up in there. And you notice that Lisa's got the virtual certified badge on there, so we can tell that she's ready to go virtually, and so does Cheryl there. So let's go in and look at this. Once I click in, I can see a photo there. This is that audience benefit statement. Here's the expert on. So these are the topics that Lisa has chosen, and I'm going to show you where to set those here in just a second. I just wanted to just see them more clearly here. She has experience in associations and education. And over here we have awards. So she has been awarded the Certified Virtual Presenter badge. She's also got the TEDx badge, and she's a member of NSA and the Wisconsin chapter. Speaking for 4 years, and last year did about 32 events. All right, I want to show you something else now. I'm going to open a new tab. I'm going to show you that same type of search. Now, this is on our brand of directory. I mentioned that we publish nearly 100 directories for lots of different groups under lots of different brands. This one is our own brand. This is the eSpeakers Marketplace. And I can go here and I can search for diversity, do the same thing. I can say search for speakers. And this time, instead of 102 matches, we get 918.
Yikes.
Yeah. And so, on this directory, fees are shown. The NSA doesn't show fees, but on this directory, fees are shown. And so I can filter this down. I can say, well, I only want speakers that are between 5 and 15,000. Okay, and that just narrows some things down. And let's say that I'm in Wisconsin and I want a local speaker. I want to save the travel fee. I can say, well, only show me speakers who are local to Wisconsin. And look at that. Now we're down to 4. So that narrowed things down a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Now, the way that these speakers are ordered is not alphabetically. These speakers are ranked according to, and you've heard the word algorithm probably around Google. Google has a secret algorithm that they use to rank websites to determine who comes up first in search results. eSpeakers also has an algorithm that we use to choose which speakers come up at the top of search results. However, unlike Google, we publish our algorithm so that you can use that to get your profile higher in search results. We want that to happen. And I'm going to show you the algorithm and show you exactly what you need to be listed higher in search results.
Oh, hooray.
Yeah, so it's not a mystery like it is for Google. I'm gonna take off Wisconsin. We're gonna go back here. Some of the speakers that show up at the top of the list. Let's look at Tyrone Holmes. I don't know Tyrone personally, but there's Tyrone's profile, and you can see he's an expert on. There's his topics. Here's his experience. Tyrone's got video. He's got programs listed here. He's got his availability, so we can find out where he's going to be, and buyers love to see this. It lets them get some sense for whether he's already booked on the day they need him. He's got reviews. The idea here is that Tyrone ranks higher because he has lots of information that's valuable to event organizers. And so the algorithm, which I'm going to show you here in a few minutes, that's its goal, is to take the speakers who have the most information that buyers want to see. It puts those speakers higher in the list when buyers are doing searches. Okay, let's go back, and I'm going to show you now behind the scenes. I wanted you to see what it looks like from the buyer's perspective. These are people shopping and researching speakers, and now I'm going to go behind the scenes and show you what it looks like when we are entering these things. And I started here, but I'm going to back out a level because I want you guys to see this all the way from the very beginning. When you sign in to get into eSpeakers, you're just going to go to eSpeakers.com, and you'll go over here underneath this menu and you'll choose sign in. You're going to do that. You're going to put in your username and your password, and then you'll click sign in. Or if you signed up with Google or with Facebook, you can just click those buttons. But if you used a username and password like me, you'll enter those and click sign in. And then you're going to go to my profile. And this is where you maintain all the information, all the information that gets shown out on your eSpeakers profile on directories. So starting with, what was that a question?
No, mine's pretty low. Keep going.
Okay. I'm gonna show you this on Zeek, and we're gonna spend some time looking at Lisa's a little bit later on, but I just wanted to show you how to get in and update these pieces of information that show up on the profile and the search results in the directories.
Hey,
So-
Dave, I'm sorry to interrupt. When you go through some of these things, the features and the things you can put onto your profiles, can you kind of differentiate between, like, there's a free version, right? And then there's a paid version, and obviously the paid version you can put more on. So if, when you're talking through the algorithms or the stuff that we need to know, can you kind of share with us, this is a paid version, or this is a level X version, or share some of that so we know what we have capabilities if we're free, what we have capabilities if we upgrade?
You bet. In fact,
Thank you.
in fact, let me switch over right now and share something that I was going to share a little bit later, but it will answer that question nicely. So I
Thank
told you that I would share our algorithm with you, and this is it. And I'm going to chat the URL. This is published on our knowledge base, and I'm going to put this in the chat right now.
Thank
So you'll
you.
all have it.
And I have the free version, just so everyone knows.
And Dave, while you're doing that, can we clarify? So this is for our chapter members who are also national members, not so the professional members. This is not for Academy. Is that correct?
Yeah, the NSA is not giving free accounts to Academy members, but anybody can have an eSpeakers account. It's just whether you get it free through the NSA or not.
So you don't have to be a national NSA member to have a free eSpeakers account?
Well, to have a free one, to have the NSA cover the cost for you, yes, you do need, you can't be an Academy
That's what I'm
member.
clarifying.
Yeah,
So this
yeah.
would be for our professional members of our chapter, not our Academy members.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you can still have an eSpeakers profile. You'll just pay for it. So I don't want you to think that you couldn't have a profile. You can still have one. It's just not paid for by the NSA. Does that make sense?
Good to know. So
Okay.
there's no requirement to have an eSpeaker account.
Right, right.
Okay. Good to know.
Everybody, yeah, everybody can get one. And if you are a professional national member, the NSA will cover a certain level of that for you, but everybody can have one. Everybody can have one. All right. So let me share this with you. And this, I zoomed in a little too high. Maybe this will be better if we go out one level. Yeah, that is better. Can everybody read that okay?
Yep.
Good. All right. So this shows you different points here in the left for different pieces of your profile. And there's also, and this is why I switched over and I'm talking about this now, it shows you the 3 eSpeakers membership levels and which level is required for that part of your profile. And so as basic members over here, you can see that you can't reach the full 100 points, but you can get a total of 60 points out of your basic membership. And then if you want to rank higher, you can upgrade to Plus or Pro. And then everybody who's at Plus or Pro there's no reason you can't have the full 100 points on there. And that will put you at the top of search results. Going through this really quickly, I'm starting at the bottom here. Virtual. This is an update we made to our algorithm 2 years ago. If you have some of your profile that's marked as virtual friendly, then you get 5 points for that. If you have listed your fee, you get 10 points just for listing your fee. If you have programs entered, and if you have, you maximize your program's point at 4 programs. So if you have at least 4 programs entered, then you've got maximum points for programs. This is one, these next 2 on here are big ones that so many speakers miss out on, and there's no reason to miss out on these. There's 20 points available just for keeping your calendar up to date. Event organizers find it really useful to be able to search by who's available on certain dates or to see your availability. Now, I will say that there is a preference, there's a publicity preference that you can use to turn off your calendar display on your profile. So there are some speakers who do not like to show their availability on their profile. And if you're one of those speakers, that's great. You can turn that off. But if you keep your calendar current, even though you're not displaying it, you still get the full 20 points for a current calendar. Again, even if you're choosing not to display it on your profile.
Hey Dave, how do event planners see your calendar, or do they not get to see your calendar if you don't display it? Because nobody gets to see it if you don't display it,
Yeah, if you don't display it, then nobody gets to see it, but we
Gotcha.
still give you the points for having it updated.
as long as it's updated. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, you bet.
And where, if I can ask, where do you select to display it or not display it?
You do that over here. Let me switch. I'm gonna have to get into a new window here. Hang on. So over here in the My Profile area, which we got into earlier, you're going to go into publicity settings. And this is where you control. So I can control whether a bureau can check my calendar. I can also choose here in marketing. I can say, oh, it's down here with schedule. So I can turn it off from my peers. I can turn it off on the map, and I can turn it off on my profile. So I can control those things. So eSpeakers can be a completely private calendar for you if you do not want to share that with anyone. If you do share it, we're able to do some powerful marketing for you. And I'll tell you, the most common reason I hear for people not to share their calendar is that they feel like it's too thin. When I ask people, why don't you want to share your calendar? They say, well, I don't have, this year I don't have a lot of engagements, and it just doesn't look good, and so I don't want to share it. And I will, and if that's your preference, that's fine. But talking with the event organizers, I know that they know that a lot of great speakers are experts who do lots of other things too. They write books, they go on tours, a lot of times they're still working in an industry. And speaking is not the only thing they do. And so, seeing that you've only got 2, 3, 4 dozen events upcoming is not necessarily a turn off to that. So I would say that in a lot of cases, you might feel shy about that calendar, and you shouldn't. But again, that's your preference on that. All right, looking back here, recommendations. If you have recommendations from people, and here we're into the features of a paid account, a Pro or Plus. You can add recommendations. If you have extra photos, articles, and book jackets and PDFs, you get some points for there. And then video is a big one. Event organizers, shoppers, researchers love to see video. We see that's one of the first things they go to on a profile. And so we reward points in the algorithm for that because event organizers find it so useful. So that's the secret algorithm. That's how to get ranked at 100, and also shows you which features are available at the basic level and which require a paid account.
Hey,
And that-
Dave,
Yep, go ahead.
where do we find that?
I just chatted the link to this in the chat.
Oh, okay.
And then I just open it up as another tab. Lisa Hain, go ahead. And then I have a question too.
Yeah, Jay, maybe it's obvious somewhere else, but what's the difference between pro and base and pro and plus? Because they look like they have all the same features in both columns. Is there an advantage to going pro versus just staying at the plus, or?
That's a great question. As far as your profile goes, there's no difference between pro and plus.
Okay.
What pro adds on to this is it fully unlocks the business management features that I don't have that. I still don't have the tab up, but
Okay.
that calendar that I showed you at the beginning, it unlocks all of the business management features at the pro level.
So if we have a CRM that we've been using and is working for us, then the only advantage to that is folks who maybe want to move their CRM to eSpeakers on the pro level.
Well, keep in mind, eSpeakers is not a CRM.
Okay.
We work with CRMs. So we work with, we integrate with most of the popular CRMs. We don't replace them.
Okay. So
yeah,
speaker flow.
yeah, we work with Speaker Flow.
Okay, good to know.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. So I want to go through a couple of screens here, and then we're going to get on to Lisa's. Let me go back here. When you get into my profile, the place you're going to start out here is edit your profile. And you're going to go in here and fill out some basic personal information. You're going to upload your profile photo. And when you upload your profile photo, I want you to have a professional headshot. If you don't have one already, it's time to get one. They're not that expensive, and it makes a big difference. I can tell you that when event organizers are researching speakers and they see a photo, and you can tell when it's not a professional photo, right? When they see one that somebody took of you on a cruise or out on the beach or whatever, that lowers your credibility. That's a ding on that. So get a professional headshot. Expertise, we are finally getting around to this. This is where you set those topics. Remember, we searched Lisa and we found her under diversity. This is where she chose that. We've got a big list, almost 300 different topics in here. And so you would choose diversity out of this list and save it. You can choose up to 6 topics here. You do not need to use all 6. And I always advise our customers, don't feel like you need to fill in all 6 of those. If you speak on 2 or 3 things and that covers it for you, stop right there. The algorithm actually gives a slight preference. If a buyer's doing a topic search, the algorithm does give a slight preference to a speaker who has fewer topics listed.
Oh,
Because it knows, yeah, because it knows that you're more focused on those, right? And so, yeah, don't feel like you need to fill in all 6. If 2 or 3 or 4 covers it, then stop there. And then career experience, this is not what you speak about, but it's industries where you have work experience. So I might speak about diversity, but I was a restaurateur for 20 years. And so I don't speak about restaurants, but I have that experience, right? And then I can bring that into what I talk about. Your biography, this is where you set your audience benefit statement, which is critical. I'm going to talk about that more in a second. And then your full benefits, or your full bio here. Now I'm going to give Wisconsin a big tip that most of our customers aren't taking advantage of. The system lets you set a different audience benefit statement and full bio for each of your topics.
Oh,
And when a buyer searches on that topic, it will show that version of your content.
wow.
I'll give you an example. My friend Chad Hymas, I don't know if you guys know Chad.
Yep.
Chad speaks on motivation, and he also speaks on workplace safety. Those are really different topics. And when he is pitching somebody on motivation, his pitch is very different than when he's pitching somebody on workplace safety. Just totally separate. So you can have a bio for accountability in this example, and you can talk about accountability, and then you can have a separate one for broadcasting. And this would be a whole separate audience benefit statement and full bio, all focused on broadcasting. And it might have a lot of the same content across those, but you can really dial it in and hit the topic. And so when a buyer comes in and they search on broadcasting and they pull up your profile, they're going to see the broadcasting version of your content here.
Nice.
Really powerful.
And Dave, just to clarify, I just clicked on it. Is that an upgrade feature?
I think that one's available to everybody.
I just haven't done it. So there
Yeah.
you have that.
Yeah, that one should be available to everybody.
Okay, so when I go on my profile right now and I go to do the general use and I select the category, it says target your buyers like guided missile, and it says upgrade feature to
Oh.
plus.
Okay, I lied. That
Okay.
one must be an upgrade feature.
Okay,
Okay.
I just want to be clear. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Dave, can I ask real quickly? So if your topics that you speak on are just the same topic, just different dimensions of that topic, is there an advantage to having a different bio since it's the same? Like, does that boost the algorithm to have different bios?
No, the algorithm
Okay.
doesn't pay, the algorithm doesn't give a bonus for separate bios for
So
different
if
topics.
logically it doesn't seem to be advantageous, then it's not necessary.
Yeah, if you really only have one set of that bio content, then you can just leave it at general purpose and you won't have any advantage to just copying the same thing to each of your topics.
So you should leave it at general purpose, not a specific.
Yeah, if it's the same for everyone, if you would just be copying the same content to each of your topics, then there's no advantage to doing that.
Okay, I didn't realize that we should leave it general purpose. That's good to know.
Yeah,
And it is a good perk to upgrade to bonus, right?
yeah, it
Or
is. It is.
Upgrade to plus.
It makes it more powerful.
Right?
Programs, this one, most speakers have, 3, 4, half dozen different programs that you can enter in. And when you do this, we'll add one here. You can choose that it's specific to a topic or not, or just leave it general use. You're going to choose what type of presentation it is, put your program title, and then I recommend that you use this start button here to use our template, which will guide you through building a great program description here. It'll walk you through. You'll type this in, I'd say 45-minute webinar, and then I hit next and it'll guide me and prompt me for the next thing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a great way to build your programs.
Can you tell I haven't done that, my friends?
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. Oh boy, and we are running short on time. All right, I need to pick up the pace here. Websites, career, these are all fees, fee range low to high, virtual fee, low to high, separate for that. All right, I think that's where I'm going to leave this. Well, I'll just do that. We're going to go back and spend our remaining few minutes here on Lisa's profile. And what I want to do here at this point is, you guys have seen what this looks like from the buyer's experience as they go in and search and they're shopping. I've showed you how to sign in to eSpeakers and get into your own profile, and showed you a little bit about where to look for the different parts of that and how to update that. And what I want to spend the rest of our time about now is diving into some of the different parts of this. And I want to give you some advice on how to do it. Some advice on what works, on what is compelling for buyers who are researching and shopping. So,
I'm ready.
Lisa, I do this with a lot of people. And when I sit down with them to go through their profile, I ask them, do you want me to be kind or helpful? Which one?
Helpful. I want you to get me money, honey.
Okay. I'm not going to be mean here, but this is a critique. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay. We love you, right? We all love you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So one of the first things that you see on this is Lisa's photo. To me, that looks great. It's clearly a professional headshot, and Lisa's head fills the majority of the frame. It could even be maybe cropped in a little bit closer so that your face fills more of the frame.
Got it.
The reason that that's important is that out here in the search results view, the photo is shown smaller, and we know from psychology that human faces there's just an attraction to human faces. And so the more of your face the buyers can see. So like Crystalline, I don't know Crystalline personally, but I can't see her face very well in that shot.
Yep.
Whereas Cheryl's is great, and Lisa, yours is good, could maybe fill a little bit more.
Keep going.
All right. This tagline is also critical because that's the only other piece of information besides your photo that shows out here. And so your audience benefit statement is really important. And I'll tell you guys, this is maybe the hardest part of your marketing material to get right. It is an art and a science to build this, but it should focus on, and Lisa, yours actually does a good job with this part. Build inclusive cultures through leadership and engagement. It needs to focus on the benefit that you bring the audience. I'll just scanning through here. Cheryl, you didn't ask to be previewed here. That's not our Cheryl there, is it? Justin, inspire your participants with humor, high energy, and practical content. That's a pretty good one. empower your people to enhance culture, improve collaboration, and elevate performance. That's a pretty good one. A high content, inspiring cultural strategist, helping you effectively navigate. Okay, that's pretty good. These guys are doing pretty well. These statements are all focused on the benefits.
Okay.
Here's one that's not awesome. If Dr. Tyrone were here, I'd advise him to probably change this. A professional speaker. You don't need to say a professional speaker because you're here, you're in our directory, you are a professional speaker. And consultant, building powerful connections in diverse organizations. That's a little thin. That doesn't really speak to me about the benefit that I'm going to get. So spend some time working on your audience benefit statement. It
Okay.
should be, Lisa, maybe a little bit longer than yours. Let me get back
Sure.
to your profile. Maybe a little bit longer than yours, but you did a good job focusing on audience benefits. So keep that in line, maybe just expand it a little bit more.
Got it.
And then your bio, here's the trick about your bio. And this is really counterintuitive, so I want you guys to get this. Your bio is not about you.
Right. I was melding that. I was like, it's about me and it should be
Yeah.
about the audience.
Yeah, your bio is not about you. Your bio is a sales piece. And so the first paragraph or two of your full bio down here should echo and expand on your audience benefit statement. So whatever you set up here, in fact, I see a lot of speakers like their exact audience benefit statement shows up in the first sentence or two of their full bio, because that first paragraph especially should echo and reinforce your audience benefit statement. And then you've got 1, 2, 3 paragraphs talking about what you do for the audience, probably 2 paragraphs talking about benefits of the audience. Talk about successes that you've had. If you helped a company turn around and go from $5 million a year profit to $50 million a year profit, mention that in there. If you regularly help management teams solve difficult diversity problems, talk about that. Talk about the types of problems that you solve. Talk about the types of people that you solve them for. What's going on here is that an event organizer who's scanning through this has a problem in mind. They've got a meeting that they have to, that's got a topic. They've got problems in their company that they need solved. And they're scanning through this looking for the person who can help them solve that problem. So talk about that in your first couple of paragraphs and hook them. And if they're interested, if they see a solution that they need in there, then they'll keep reading. And after your first couple of paragraphs, then it's time to talk about you. Then it's time to talk about your history, your background, your education, your unique experiences. Whatever it is about you that makes you qualified, you need to convince them that you can deliver what you claim you could at the top of your bio.
Okay.
A couple of things, and boy, we're really short on time here. A couple of things that are good inside a bio is use bullet lists. I like to see past clients include and make a bullet list of 2 or 3 of your most high profile clients. And if you've got a 1 or 2 sentence quote from them, include that right in the same list. So you have past clients include Ford Motors. Lisa was a great blah, blah, blah. She helped us do this and this. Number 2, Servicio Elementary School. Lisa really turned around our students. They loved her, right? Just 1 or 2 sentences next to each one of those is really powerful in there. Another good thing to include in your bio is a bullet list of your most popular programs. And again, just 1 line about it, but bullet lists stand out and include scannability. And then Lisa, you've got your programs listed here, which is great. I love seeing this. You've got the benefits and why down here. Those look fantastic. So good photo. That's good. Programs. You've got your virtual, you've got your CVP. That's fantastic. And so at a higher level, you would also have added in recommendations and video would be the other 2 big things on this profile that would help bump it up and make it compelling to the buyers.
But then I'd have to also go up in the next level.
You would have to go up a level on that. Yeah, but after you've done everything that you can here, if you want to take it up to the next level, that's where you'd go.
Right.
Okay.
Great feedback.
So just
Yeah.
real quick, I know we're pressed on time and I thought we were going till 5 o'clock, but evidently we're only going till 4, Lisa.
For Dave.
Okay, okay.
That
So,
was
so,
his. I'm gonna stay on. We will do it
Okay.
together. You bet.
so I'll be quick. So just to reiterate, Dave, first and second paragraph should echo and expand on your audience benefit statement. Then the people you solve for, the successes you've had for your clients, the help you provide them, then bullet list of past clients with 1 or 2 testimonies, and then bullet list of most popular programs. Is that a kind of a good formula for the, okay,
Yep.
awesome.
I'll share with
Thank-
you. I'll share with you something that Jerry O'Brien. You guys know Jerry. He's an NSA member.
He spoke to our chapter this fall. Yep.
Okay. Well, he teaches something that has really stuck with me about marketing and it applies perfectly to the bio text. Jerry teaches that sales is an emotional thing. People buy on, but then you have to give them logical reasons to justify what they want to do. So make them want to do it, but then you have to give them logical supporting evidence that makes them logically feel good about that decision. And that's exactly how the flow of that bio goes. At the top, you're giving them the emotion of, I need her, right? You're giving the buyer the emotion that they really want you there because you're going to solve their most pressing problems. And then after that, you're going to give them information about you that will make them feel logically good that you're able to provide that. So it follows Jerry's pattern perfectly when you do it that way. All right, more Q&A. We've got a few minutes. We can go to the top of the hour with Q&A. I burned through that pretty quickly. What else do we want to talk about? What do you guys want to see?
Go ahead, Paula.
Question for you. Does eSpeakers have new training videos coming out on how to use the system? I've gone through what's there. It's pretty limited. Specifically, I'm looking for how to use the event search. So for the potential speaking opportunities that are posted, I noticed there's 2 places to look. And one is much more expansive where the other one is specific job postings on the pro level.
Yep. I will share that with you. Let me go back and look at this because there's a portion of this that's available even to basic members.
Okay, good to know.
So sign in again here. What you're asking about is the lead center.
Well, there's the lead center and then there's also in the calendar, the marketplace.
Yep. But the lead center, actually the lead board inside the lead center includes those things that you would see inside the marketplace tab and Event CX. So it includes those and also has many others as well. And so if you go to the lead board, you get all of it in one shot.
So in the lead board, my experience has been, unless they're actually posting an opportunity, there's no link to apply for an event.
There should be at least contact information in there. Some of them will have links.
Yes.
And some will have contact information. Yeah, one or the other. One or the other. We try to get call for speaker links in there as often as we can, but if they don't, we just give you the organizer information.
So my question is, how's the most efficient way to use that lead board?
We've actually got a video coming out on that.
Good.
In fact, it may already be produced. Back to the answer about videos. Also, we actually have a brand new series of videos, over almost 2 dozen of them coming out that'll be released in the next couple months, and they'll cover lots of topics, including using the lead board. Let me do this. If you'll chat your email address in the chat, I'll grab that and I'll send you a link to that video.
Thank you.
Just so we can stay on topic here. Let me go ahead and chat that and I'll grab it out so I don't lose it.
And I will just share, we were chatting before we started. I actually got my first opportunity through eSpeakers. I've been working on updating my eSpeaker profile, and someone who, not through a referral, not through having seen me speak, not any connection other than they found me on eSpeakers and reached out and asked me to submit a proposal for their event. So that was exciting.
And we love hearing that.
I don't know if I'll get the job, but it was just nice somebody reached out to me.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
exciting. So, and Paula, you have the plus.
I have the
account?
pro level because I have speaker flow, and I need the pro level for the two systems to talk to each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good to know. Well, that's probably why that's not working for me. Benita, you have a question. Your hand is up. Go ahead, Benita.
You have any kind of statistics or tracking on the number of leads that convert to engagements through eSpeakers?
I don't. And if we did, I'm not sure how valuable it would be because it varies so much from speaker to speaker. We help buyers learn about speakers and get in contact with speakers. But after that, it's up to the speaker to make the sale. I mean, we don't close the deal. We introduce you guys. We're different than a speakers bureau. We're not a traditional speakers bureau. A traditional speakers bureau would close the deal and bring you in and take 30%. And we don't do that. We connect you with the buyer directly, and then get out of the way so that you make the sale.
But so Dave, I'm going to jump in on that because I guess I'm confused. Isn't there like a 10% fee though that eSpeakers does get from our?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's if you get found and booked through the directory, there is a finder's fee, and it varies. It's much less than speakers bureaus, and it varies depending on which directory you got found on. But the contract is not with us. Like the contract is directly between you and the buyer. So we don't try to play middleman there. We spend money to try to bring buyers into the system, and when they connect with you, you make an agreement directly with them. We do get a finder's fee if the event goes through and you get paid. We get a finder's fee, and that's always disclosed up front. You never have to take a job that comes to you through our platform. Most speakers are thrilled when it happens, but you never have to. So if a job came in and said, "Hey, there's a 10% finder's fee," you could say, "You know what, pass." But if you take it and you get it and you get paid, then you pay us the finder's fee for the work we did to bring that lead to you. But your agreement's directly with the buyer. It's not with us.
Or hypothetically, if you have something in there and you haven't looked at it in 17 days, and then it pops up and says, "Hey, you lost this job."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's something to stay on top of too.
It's something to stay on top of. And if you're at the basic level, do definitely max out your points there. Get as high up in the search results as you can get. And if you're at the Plus or Pro, make sure you're at 100. There's no reason not to be at 100 and be near the top of those search results when buyers are in searching. We had speaking of those two, if you are at the Plus or Pro level, video I mentioned was really powerful. We see event organizers want to see you on the platform doing your thing. When you post video, and this advice applies to your own website as well, anywhere you're posting video, I recommend that you avoid the temptation to start your speaker reel off with some graphics and a voiceover talking about you. When I sit down with meeting planners and I watch them watching speaker videos, if it starts off with that stuff, they take the little movement control and slide it until they see the speaker on stage, because that's what they want to see.
Okay.
I counsel you to have on your speaker reel, you should be on stage within the first 10 seconds of the video. If you want to do some voiceover things, put it later or mix it in. I've seen an effective formula where it'll start with the speaker on stage. It goes for 30, 45 seconds, and then there is a cut to some text on screen or the speaker talking about themselves for a few seconds, and then it goes back to them on stage again. So you can interleave like that, but your video should start with you on stage. That's what the buyers want to see first off.
Even
And we
if,
rec-
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Even if they're searching for virtual, that's just still be on stage?
Yeah, even if they're searching for virtual, I'd still be on stage. Now, if you have a clip in there, and a lot of speakers are doing this, so in the eSpeakers profile, but again, this advice applies to your own website. We recommend that you have 3 to 5 clips of just a few minutes each. So you don't want to have your whole 45-minute presentation on there. Just have several clips, just a few minutes each. And it's great. And I see speakers doing this, that one of those clips is titled, virtual reel, or, Kristen Bach on the small screen, or Laura does virtual, right? And there's a clip titled that's all you virtual, and that's great. And in that case, no, you don't need to be in front of an audience. You should be on Zoom in those ones.
Good, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, I know it's at the top of the hour for you, my friend, and NSA Wisconsin thanks you for your time. Is there anything you'd like to leave us with that I, could give you cheese curds for at another time?
I'm gonna give you just 2 things in parting. So one of those things is pay attention to your marketing. Like directory marketing is an increasingly popular way for buyers to find speakers. That's what we've been talking about today. But pay attention to your marketing on your own website. If you have printed material through directories, it makes a big difference on the speed that your speaking business grows and stays around. Even if you have great platform skills, that alone is not enough to do it. You've got to have great marketing to go with it. And the second thing I wanted to leave you with is this. If you have never been a paid eSpeakers member before at the Plus or Pro level, and you're a Wisconsin member and you are interested in doing that, I can give you $100 off your first year of Plus, or $200 off your first year of Pro. Just send me a note after this. My email address, I'll chat it right here. It's dreed, D-R-E-E-D, at eSpeakers.com. If you'll send me a note sometime in the next few days and just say, hey, I want to do that thing, I'll hook that up for you, save you a couple $100 on that. So
Thank you, Dave.
just for our Wisconsin friends.
Yeah, that's a lot of cheese curds right there.
All right, good. I was hoping that'd get me some cheese curds. I'll
Yeah,
take
they'll
them.
come to you.
All
Fantastic.
right, good.
Well,
Guys,
Dave, thank you.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. And honestly, even aside from that, if you've got other questions or something you'd like to go through deeper, feel free to connect with me and we can talk offline. That'd be great. Thanks for having me today.
It's wonderful. Thank you. Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
everyone.
Yeah.